Do you want to know how to make inventory planning easier? Then watch this video because I'm about to share with you how I escaped inventory nightmare and learned how to regain control of my inventory planning. Before we get into it, take a second and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the videos I post each week. Now let's get into it. Inventory planning is super annoying because it's easy to get it wrong. If you order too much, you're out of cash. And if you order too little, you're leaving money on the table. Both of these scenarios make you want to cry. Inventory planning is especially painful if you're only selling on Amazon. I've been there, and so has Anthony, who called me to chat about his growing Amazon business. He shared with me a little bit about his challenges with inventory, and I felt the need to tell him how I managed to evolve my online business to a point where I was way more in control of my inventory planning. Here's how the conversation went.
If I can maintain inventory, because that was a big issue, is learning a very steep learning curve with inventory control, as far as always maintaining inventory. And then because you spend all this money on ads on Amazon, and then 3 months later you have nothing. Your product's now inactive, and you spent all that ad time to get your product ranked in the top 10, top 20, whatever it is, and all of a sudden now you're like, my BSR went down the drain. With that, if I can maintain inventory, this is a single product and I do $500,000 a year in sales. And that's without really pushing the ad space, because if I keep continuing to push ad space, then I'm running at inventory quicker. So that's where I am as far as that was my first product. It was a home run that I think anyway for what it was. And then it's now giving me the opportunity to really expand and try to really develop new products inside that space that fit needs of parents.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, that's a huge win. I mean, in anybody's books. Are you kidding me? Like one product and doing that. What I would say is, as you're early on, here's the goods and bads, and you're starting to see it, and I can hear it as you talk, whether you realize it or not, is that when you stay on Amazon and do this, your efforts don't compound, right? And exactly what you said, you spend all this time and energy learning PPC, doing all the, figuring it all out, spending into it, and then you run out of inventory. Everybody does. I mean, we did it for years. You just run out of stuff because you did really well, and then your BSR goes, into the black abyss, and you have no, and meanwhile, you were doing so well, you launch another product because you're like, I figured this thing out. But then, that outlays more cash there, and it's just this never-ending cycle. And what's happening to you now on Amazon, it will just continue to do that. You'll always be in this vicious cycle. Now, when you take it off of Amazon and you're selling on your own site, you're not having to do, fight for BSR, right? You're just having to make a lot of good friends. And if your friends are good friends and they're quality friends, they're going to stick with you. And so when you run out of product, they might be like, that's okay. Like, I'll buy it from you and you ship it to me in 3 months or whenever you say you're going to get it, because I still want it. And in the meantime, let's continue to be friends and have a conversation and give value to each other. And when you go launch new product, you don't have to fight for BSR because your group is there, your customer base there is ready to say, like, what else do you have? Oh, you're launching this.
That way.
It's instantaneous sales. And so it's very much easier to plan inventory when you know what your customer base is, what your conversion rates are, and how many people are visiting your site, all of these things. It becomes much easier to manage inventory when you're not playing the Amazon game, I felt, and having done both. So inventory is always going to be difficult to forecast. What you can control are the other variables. So when you remove yourself from Amazon and you're selling it on your own site, you can start to control more of the variables, right? You understand what kind of traffic you're getting and what your conversion rates are and what people are willing to spend. And all of that stuff is helping you create a clearer picture for how you should order. Instead of saying, like, now I've run out of inventory, my BSR has gone down to 0 or whatever it is. What happens when I get the next container in? Will it sell as fast or not?
You gotta essentially buy yourself back into that BSR.
And does it work all the time? No. Like, there's times where you're like, I did the exact same thing and something's wrong, or somebody does something to your listing or whatever, or Amazon somehow flags your account or shuts you down for a week, and you're like, I just brought in like 5 times the amount of product, like, get me back. So it's all the other factors that when you're not on Amazon, make it easier to grow a business and have it compound. So your efforts that you do today will serve you a year from now, versus on Amazon, it serves you when it serves you. And then when it doesn't serve you, it's back down to zero and start again. As you're thinking about inventory planning, to me, that's the biggest thing, is being able to have more variables that you can control and understand and see and have more data to then help you plan your inventory better off of Amazon.
Yeah. So with I actually got product in November, and Amazon hit me with a child product certificate request. Instantly suspended my listing until then it took me a full month to finally get that lab tested. It was all approved before, it was never an issue. But they didn't bother notifying me when I was out of inventory.
Right.
They could have easily said back and say, July, hey, can you guys get this lab test for us? And I would have done it, no problem. Sent a couple spares that I have, but they tell me the first week of November. So I missed out on all of Black Friday. And almost the first week of December, and it was just a battle back and forth with, again, Amazon. So I think you're right. I think moving towards a personalized website, or my own store, essentially building out the group, would I'd be my own boss again, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy, but it's very much worth the effort. And I think we've kind of proven that when we exit our company, the percentage of sales in Amazon was like single digits as a percentage of revenue. Yeah, and we were still crushing it on Amazon, but we really figured out how to crush it on our own. And that, to me, I think is like the holy grail, especially for Amazon sellers, because you get stuck into it. And here's the other thing, Anthony, is when all you're doing is learning Amazon and studying Amazon and trying to be the best at Amazon, it just doesn't translate off. You just get stuck in it, and you just your creativity and what you can do. It's just all of your energy is focused on how do I get good at Amazon. Whereas if you took all that energy and put it off of Amazon, your efforts compound. Like, they serve you over time. And I don't know any other way to describe it, but it's exactly that. It's like what you do on Amazon one day could totally be gone because they changed something. Yeah. Let's say you no longer can sell in baby. And then you're like, what? How in the world? Like, everything, all the energy I've put into this, learning everything, and now you kick me out of the category. It's like, yeah, sorry. But if you do it on your own, your efforts are going to compound, right? The energy and time you spend figuring out how to run a Shopify store and how to grow friends and create your, like, all of those things stay with you forever. And then they serve you and serve you and serve you year over year over year and compound. Whereas in Amazon, it's often like, learn this today, and then tomorrow it's no use, and then figure this out now because that's the new thing, and then do that. And so you're just kind of being shuffled around by Amazon, where whatever they want you to do, they basically make you do it, or you stop making money. And so that's kind of how I see it.
When I decided to focus more of my time and energy growing sales on my own website, I realized that there was so much more information in my analytics that helped me get so much better at inventory planning. When I was in control and pulled the levers to drive traffic to my own site, I was no longer worried about the Amazon algorithm that seemed to reward or punish me at random times with very little transparency. Everything was so much more predictable. And when I knew what traffic and conversion rate to expect throughout the year, I was able to plan my inventory with so much more ease and confidence. My inventory turns were faster, and I ultimately had less cash locked up in product, which gave me more cash to put towards growing my business. And you can do this too. You don't need to quit selling on Amazon. You just need to rethink your channel mix and Amazon strategy, which is why I made this video right here. Click on it now and learn how you could be hurting your chances of growing a sustainable online business without even knowing it. Remember to like and subscribe. I post new videos each Monday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.